Hello and welcome back to International Racing Series. We are live here at Silverstone for round 5, tier 2, to get this 18-minute qualifying session underway. It is wet weather by the looks of it, and everyone is on the inters. Hopefully it's a dry race, but judging from Outlaw in the chat, he's saying hello, I hate you, so I think it's a wet race too. But yeah, let's see who's quick in the wet to get pole position here today. Nearly halfway through the season, round 5 out of 12. Couple new drivers here today as well. We've got Mons in the Mercedes reserving, and we've got IRS in the Ferrari also reserving today. Outlaw, first driver out on the track. A driver to watch out for in the wet. Always goes pretty well compared to others in wet weather. We're just waiting for everyone to jump out onto the outlaps and then start seeing some time set. See who can struggle with the wet here, who's on top of it. Annoying that EA decided to take away wet weather time trial, so you can't exactly practice on the time trial. You've got to go into Grand Prix modes to sort of practice it. Not ideal, but yeah, one thing they should bring back. 10 of you viewers in the chat on Twitch. If you're new, make sure to drop a follow, even a subscription if you wanna. But here we go then, Outlaw. Just coming down the hangar straight at the moment into the final couple of corners, ready to start his first flying lap of the day. As we go into Vale and then into Club onto the Hamilton Straight for the first time in the Kicks Harbour for Outlaw's first flying lap. Then here we go, no DRS enabled of course. It's going to be all down to ERS and how good you are in the wet as we're coming into Village. And then the loop, try to get a good exit, gear 3 up into gear 4 onto the Wellington Straight, down into this hard braking left-hander which is Brooklands, around the sweeping right-hander. We're about to enter Luffields. Looking pretty decent so far for Outlaw as he exits Woodcut down into the fastest corner on the track, which you all know the name of that one, Cops Corner. 6 gear through there for him. Into Maggots we go. Oh, invalidates it, and he's gonna have to back off through Beckett's, and that is his first lap done. I think we got Elmer right behind as well, exiting Beckett's right now onto the hangar straight. No, it's not Elmer. It is Elmer, but that's just, what the hell? He's left the session and his car's gone straight back to the pits, weirdly enough. That was a bit of a weird one there. So we're gonna have to go on board with the McLaren of IRS LB44, is it? And Nick into Stowe, out of Stowe, IRS LB44 into Vale, to left and right into Club, and then back onto the Hamilton Straight. IRS LB44 will be the first driver to set the purple sectors of a 141.802 as his teammate crosses the line and goes 1.3 seconds quicker with a 1.40560. And Brannan, was it last week's race runner? Let me just double check, I think it was in Austria, right? My head's all over the place, I need to double check what's happened. I'm 100% sure it was Brannan. No, it wasn't, that was a week before, sorry, in Spain. It was Elmo winning his first race last week in Austria, who's just sadly been kicked out of the session for some reason. Right, who else is on the lap? Yeah, that's that Super Skills. Yes, it is. Outlaw's teammate. Soccer Constructors at the moment. 2 kicks hours as Super Skills has a big moment now. Crosses the line with 143.1 as we'll just try and invite Elmo back to the session quickly. Hopefully he'll be able to get back in this car. As Matthew's Monster 41.8, P5 Finn Kits for 39.4. Back into IRS, was here a couple of seasons ago, I think maybe possibly F1 2022. Yeah, took some time out away from IRS, not sure what else he done, but he's back in the Williams for a full-time seat. Currently P2, as Outlaw does set a faster lap of a 138.5. Goes provisional pole position for now. 2 McLarens still going. No improvement for them. Must have a couple laps of fuel on board as they're still going around. Maybe 10, 11 laps. Try to get some decent laps in. Mons in the Mercedes, 141.9. Kentrum, P9, 42.5. Into the pits was Euros. RC in the Red Bull. About to start his first flying lap of the day. Surely it's Inters. In the pits we got ARS on the wet tyres, obviously yet to come out, but everyone else on Inters at the moment. Right, Elmo can't join. Right, let's just try to see what's happening there. We might have to restart the lobby after qualifying. Not sure what's going on there. Hopefully he can take control of his car as we're on board with RC at the moment. Coming out Beckett's down the long hanger straight, 11.6 in sector 2. See what sort of time we can put on the board. His teammate Kaki not here today, unfortunately. So the solo Red Bull trying to score as best as he can for the Red Bull. Trying to cross the line, looking pretty quick. That's a 38.512, 7 thousandths of a second quicker than Outlaw done. Elmo still not back into it at the moment. I think Nick's improved. Parseval's crossed the line with a 39.3, P5. Mercedes Scuderia in the Williams, 39.3, P5 for him. Oh, Elmo's got it. Nice. That's good to hear. Anyone setting flying laps? What's going on? Is that Finn Kit's going for another lap? I think it is. He validated his last one. So going around again. IRS LB44 into the pits along with his teammate. Elmo's back out on track. Just there forward with Finn. See if he can get any higher than 7th position. 5th and 7th for the 2 Williams at the moment. Go back to Twitch. Daniel's commented. But if there is, just double check. Oh, there is. Go Elmo from Chino. Get Elmo back in from Brian. Yeah, he was just struggling to retake control of his car. Spectator mode, you've got to scroll across to Haas and then press take control of your car and it'll get you back in. But there you go, he's back out on track. As Parsifal with a big improvement there, 38.521, and that is 9 thousandths per second between the top three, which is mega close. That's one thing about Tier 2 this season. Their qualifying sessions have been so close, as Finn is like currently 5 tenths up on his best. Taking Maggots and Beckett's very nicely there. Bit of a moment there on the exit of Beckett's. 1.7 seconds up now. I won 10.3 into Sector 2. Get in there, Elmo from Chino. Let's see what sort of time Elmo can put on. Oh, as Finn has a massive snap of oversteer. Due to this wet weather, lighting up the rears a bit too much. Still looking pretty strong here though. And goes pole position by over a second to RC, who looks to be improving as well here. We'll see what Elmo can do as well. He's been pretty strong in qualifying this season with a couple pole positions. RC's a second up, so looking to take away that pole from Finn Kitts, who's making his re-debut, I would say, back in IRS here today. Elmo just going through Luffields at the moment on the mini track map in the bottom right hand corner as we stick with RC, who's about to finish off this lap then. Crosses the line and it's going to be a 1:37.4 as Euros Cuturulo in the red RB, sorry, with a 47.4 on board with this man here, Elmo of the Void, last week's race winner, his first ever race win in IRS, and he's looking pretty strong here. A 1:10.407 in Sector 2, which is well up there. Into Stowe corner, a bit tentative. Outlaw with a 36.8 absolutely smashes the park by 6 tenths there. Great lap from Outlaw. But here comes Elmo with a 37.2, 4 tenths off him. Good lap from Elmo. Brannan 5 tenths up into Sector 1. The track is starting to heat up a little bit. More dry lines by the looks of it. More temperature in the tyres. And the lap times are coming down. Oh, Brannan nearly loses the car there through Cops Corner. Has a bit of a drift through the corner. Sliding about a lot here. The rear tyre's not having any of it. Still on a very good lap. A 1:10.6. Couple tenths off Elmo there. Could still see himself into the top 3 possibly. If he has a good last couple of corners. Needs a good exit through Vale and Club here. What sort of time can he do? Indeed, he goes up to P2, just ahead of Elmo. Good lap time there. As Euros actually goes up to P7. In the RB with a 38.9. And for now, that is it, I think. Elmo still on a lap? No, he's not. On a cooldown lap. And then he'll be going again. He's sort of a lap behind here as well. Is it going to be dry in the race? I have no idea. I did ask, but I'm not too sure. Judging by Outlaw's reaction in the Discord, I don't think it is going to be dry, but for the sake of Tier 2, I hope it is. But let's see if Elmo can improve this lap. He's a lap down on everyone after being kicked out, so possibly only 2 laps he's going to be able to do. Purple sector, just under 2 tenths up on his time. Do you know what? It has stopped raining, and there is a dry line out there. If I was someone down the bottom, I would risk a soft, you know, because there's a massively big dry line. It stopped raining, so if I was someone down the bottom, I would risk a soft eye here and just try to stick. Elmo's on an absolute flyer here though. Nearly 8 tenths up on his time. He's going to be on pole position for now. If he can finish this lap off strong. Maximising the track, taking as much of the track as he can. Riding the curbs. Very good through Vale and Club there. Out the final corner. It's going to be a 36.3. Great lap from Elmo there. Yeah, but really I would jump out on the softs like Finn has. Maybe it could be a bit slippery, but there is a dry line starting to appear. The track does look a bit greasy as Nick jumps up to P2. They're 36.6. Purple final sector. Can this be his best qualifying session of the season for Nick? Great lap time there. Nice Elmo, let's go. With the support in the chat there for Elmo of the Void. Still got some strong drivers who can improve a lot though. Brannan doesn't look to be improving at the moment. I think he's just preparing for a lap. His IRS is turned off. Outlaw on an out lap. Definitely a driver who can snatch away pole position here in the wet. How's Arcee getting on? 19 thousandths of a second down on his time, up on his time, sorry, into sector 1. IRS in the Ferrari jumps up to P7. Let's have a look though. Super skills on the softs. It did look like it could be a good risk, but look at that super skills here, struggling to get a bit of traction. I don't think it is. Yeah, 1.3 down. And he's invalidated as well, so unfortunately the softs didn't come into play there. As Elmo's going again. Let's stay on board with this man here, Outlaw, and see what he can do. 10th up, just under 2. Into sector 1. Purple sector for him, so his best sector 1 so far in this session. As I think, is that Arcee who's just improved? Yes, it is. 136.4. Who else is finishing there? Remy up to P6. They're 37.3. Yeah, it's all about this man, I reckon. I think he's going to be the only challenger to Elmo. And he's 6 tenths up on his lap. It's going to be out of Elmo and Outlaw. Can Outlaw finish this lap strong and take away pole position from Elmo? Needs a good Vale and Club. Brannan out of nowhere as well, actually. We're 36.3, but I think Outlaw's about to get into the 35s. Oh, just about misses it. 36.0 takes away pole position from Elmo, who is unfortunately not improving and into the pits. Mons up to P6 in the Mercedes. Finn Kits on the softs, unfortunately, not going to improve, and that is the end of qualifying. Like I said, Outlaw was a man to watch in the wet weather. Snatched away pole position from Brennan and Elmo in the dying moments of qualifying there. As Chino saying no in the chat. Unfortunately for Elmo, P3 could have been pole position if he didn't kick out the session, to be fair. Could have had a bit more time to get used to the wet weather, but still a very good qualifying session for Elmo there in the top 3. 26 lap race ahead, so a lot of things can change by the end of that. Elmo, I totally messed up the last lap. feels bad, man, in the Discord chat. So Elmo, possibly under a bit of pressure, has messed up his final qualifying run. But Nick Broom, definitely a person to shout out there. P5, his best qualifying of the season so far. Home Grand Prix for him. Right, let's get this show on the road then. Let's get this race underway. There's your confirmation. The gaps not as close as other qualifying sessions. Obviously, wet weather made a big impact on that. I think if it was dry, it would have been a lot closer between a lot of drivers. But there is your grid for round 5. As we wait for them, we'll wait for the game, and then we'll wait for the drivers to pick their strategies, see what sort of tyres they will start on, and get this IRS Home Grand Prix underway. It's a dry race. Thank God for that. Sorry for the French, but yeah. It's definitely a soft to medium race. I would not be using the hards in this race unless there's a safety car early on. In the first couple, 3 laps, 4 or 5 laps, I'd switch over to the hards, but it's a medium, soft strategy here, one stop. Let's see who decides to start on the softs and go for a racy start, trying to make some positions up. Is that Outlaw on the softs there? I think it is. Yes, it is. Brannan, Elmo on the mediums. It's a very split choice there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people on the softs. And then 9 drivers on the medium, so pretty much half the grid. All going for different choices there. Glad to see a dry race, so we'll be able to see people's true potential now. Is that Outlaw's first pole position of the season, actually? Trust it to be. If it is, trust it to be in the wet. Let's have a look at the quality results. Elmo, Sargent, Elmo, Sargent, yeah it is. Outlaw's first pole position of the season. Is a bit of a maestro in the rain, to be honest. Won a few races last season in the wet by quite some distance. But I think this dry race is going to be a lot different for him. Brandon, Elmo, RC are going to be right on his tail from the get-go. Right, here we go then. What's happened there? Top 4, miles away. Why does Nick always so far back from everyone in these formation laps? Should be at least 10 car lengths behind, but for some reason he's always quite far back. As we wait for... Oh, Psycho actually joined in the session now. He joined in late. Didn't see him. He wasn't there in the lobby in the first place, but here we go then. Lined up to his grid spot. The lights are going to switch on. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights here in Silverstone. And away we go. Elmo's got a great start there by the looks of it, already alongside Brannan. Red Bull of RC's pulled alongside both of them up the inside into turn 1. That's a great start from the Red Bull. Have we got any action done? There's a Ferrari in the background off the track. Elmo's been overtaken by Brannan as well, dropped down to P4. Nick's held his position just ahead of Remy, who's having a look at him on the soft tyres. Now trying to make a move down the Wellington straight. Elmo's also having a look at Brannan, not quite close enough. Top 2, pulling away a tiny bit on this start of this lap. Finn Kitts is dropping all the way down the field there. What's happened to him? Down to P11. Got Super Skills beside him. The 2 Williams drivers having a little battle there. Bit of contact between Mercedes Scuderia and Psycho. Mercedes Scuderia trying to go around the outside of Cops. Can he make it stick? Side by side with Super Skills. Going into Maggots. Gets the job done. IRS LB44 having a battle with Mons. Back up the top though, let's have a look and see the gap already, 1.6. Brannan not using his ERS compared to the front 2, who have absolutely drained it a little bit. Elmo running deep there into the corner. It's going to allow Nick to have a little challenge around the outside into Vale. Can he make it stick through club? Not quite, has to use a bit of curb, it's going to cost his exit. Remy's going to come around the outside onto the Hamilton straight and try to take advantage of that. Uses the ERS. Gets the job done, and Nick Broom is now down to 6th position. IRS W44 has had a bit of a moment there, losing 2 positions to Super Skills and Finn. Euro trying to go around the outside, then into the inside of Psycho, who runs off the track a little bit. That's going to possibly allow Kentrum through as well. ARS is into the pits. Oh, who's that running well deep? Matthias Monster completely misses the apex, loses a position to Mons. Elmo having a look at Brannan. We've got a yellow flag. That is ARS called out the pit lane. I think he had a bit of a moment. Brannan keeps the position just ahead of Elmo, but they've dropped back massively here from Outlaw and RC, which is a big surprise. Did not expect that. I thought they were going to stick right with them. They are on the softs, obviously, actually, to be fair. So later on in the race, it could come back to Elmo and Brannan. Yellow flag in the background as well. That is Euros in the RB. Had a bit of a moment. Elmo got the job done on Brannan. New fastest lap from RC. Parseval gets past Remy. Here comes Nick as well. Back up the inside. Back into P6. Remy's going to come have a look though. Up the inside into Village. Gets his braking a bit wrong there. Was a bit tentative. DRS is enabled as well, so we could see some overtakes down these streets. Oh, Psycho has a big moment. Where's Kentrum? IRS LB44 into the pits, onto the mediums already. Ferrari off the track there. A lot of action going on. This is a massive DRS train from Elmo all the way down to P12 of Super Skills. We'll see how long that keeps up. Is RC close enough for a move on Outlaw yet? It's gaining with the ERS, BRS and Slipstream. Not quite close enough for a move into Stowe. Brannan gets back past Elmo, who's trying to stick it around the outside of Stowe corner there. Didn't quite have the traction. Parseval's now caught up with these two. And they're starting to pull away from Nick, who is now possibly just ahead of the DRS train. Can he stay within the DRS of the guys ahead? As Elmo's trying to make a move. So does Parseval. The two Aston Martins ganging up on Elmo right now. and Nick has just laid in the DRS there, so the DRS train keeps going. Here comes Elmo again, trying to go around the outside and then up the inside of Luffields. Great move from Elmo there. Parseval's going to take advantage as well on the soft tyres, up the inside of his teammate, who yields the position. Into Cops when he go for a move. Was thinking about it, but nice move. Elmo certainly was. Under pressure now from the Aston Martin, who is on the soft tyres and will want to get past as quick as he can to take advantage of using these softs early on. Here he comes to the inside and gets the job done. Now he'll go hunting after Outlaw and RC, who RC's overtook Outlaw now. Into the lead he goes. So what can Parseval do? Can he get away from this DRS train? Or can Elmo fight back on these medium tyres? Super Skills is 2.5 seconds down on Finkits, so he is now out of the DRS train, which will be costly on the soft tyres as well, so that's kind of ruined his race for now. Hopefully later on we can do something about that, as Outlaw's made a move with a DRS again. Does obviously come back at him though. I'm pretty sure these guys are going to be switching positions quite a lot with the two DRS zones. ARS with another 3-second time penalty there. IRS will be 44 with 10 seconds as well. Must have been speeding in the pit lane. Here comes RC again though. Up the inside into Stowe. These guys do not want to start costing themselves time. It was 4 seconds ahead of Parseval, who's now closing the gap. And Outlaw and RC are costing themselves time here with this battling. They should be using this DRS to good effect to try to get away from Parseval, Elmo and the rest of the DRS train, and try not to fight too much, as Psycho gets a 3-second time penalty as well, along with Kenterum. It's 2.9 now. Parseval put in some good sectors and starting to catch up. These two really can't start fighting too hard, otherwise they're going to be straight back into this DRS train. They can keep it a 2-car battle for the lead, or they can bring the whole train with them. Because later on, when we get to the pit stop phase, they will start being cars who can undercut, like Elmo, Brannan, Nick, who will all be jumping onto the soft tyres. Oh, that was definitely a track limit warning there for Brannan. 3 maggots. Let me just check that, I want to see. Oh, wrong one. That was surely a track limit. No, it wasn't. Must have just been within it. As we've got ARS retiring in the pits. That's his race done, and Elmo's had a big moment. Lost the position to Brannan. Now he's behind both of the Aston Martins. Parseval now 2.1 behind Outlaw and RC. He's absolutely flying. Up 9 positions as well. As we got Mons making a move on Remy into Brooklands. Next up for him will be Nick Broom. 1.9 the gap between Outlaw and Parsifal. He's bringing Brannon and Elmo with him. Yeah, Outlaw and RC have cost themselves time here, but it's battling. Well, Parsifal's just a lot quicker as well. .3 the gap with that DRS from Outlaw there. But I think into the braking zones here, Parsifal is just a lot better. There he is. You can see into the braking, Parsifal is a lot stronger than Outlaw. And the gap comes down. You'll see into the village here how much the gap between Outlaw and Parsifal drops. That's a 10th into village. And then out of the loop, that's another 10th. So yeah, Parsifal is looking a lot stronger as of right now. As Outlaw, not making any moves on this lap. 1.8 the gap. Parsifal's closing in. 1.6. 6/10 away from getting into that DRS. Uses a bit of ERS there to put it down to 1.4. And this battle is not over. It's going to be a 5-car battle for the lead in a minute. Possibly another lap's time. Maybe even this lap. Oh, did he get into the DRS? No, he didn't. Just outside. He gained 6/10 through Maggots and Beckett's. Elmo's still there as well on the mediums with Brannon, both on the medium tyres, which is going to be very good for them. As Mons having a little look on Nick, who runs into the back of him a little bit. Mons with a 3-second time penalty there, possibly because of Nick, but not too sure. Runs off the track as well, that'd be another warning. Parsifal has now got into the DRS of RC and Outlaw. So this battling early on for Outlaw and RC has cost them a lot of time. Cost them the gap as Finn Kitts getting past Nick there, who's dropped down to P9 now. After his best qualifying session of the season, he's starting to struggle and dropping down the field as Matthias Monster has a look. Back up to the top though. We now have a 5-car battle for the race lead. Brannon's got to be careful actually. Brannon's just outside the DRS. Doesn't want to cost himself the DRS. And he has, so Elmo's going to have to get past as quick as he can. RC's making a move on Outlaw, so is Parsifal. Up the inside into Stowe. Trying to take P2 off Outlaw. Couldn't quite make it stick as RC jumps into the pits for a possible undercut, even though he's in the lead, but wants to get more time on Outlaw and Parsifal, just to try to extend his lead across the wall if he can. But that battling has brought Elmo just inside the DRS. There's a detection zone and he's just inside it. So Elmo back into the DRS now along with Brannon. 2 Williams drivers up to 5th and 6th. RC is going to rejoin just behind the Ferrari of Kenterum. Down in P12. 16 laps on those mediums. He's going to have to do. Here comes Parsifal. I'm not sure what Outlaw was going to do there. Possibly a bit of an overreaction, but decided not to use the ERS and try and make the move into tops. Instead, stick behind me through Maggots and Beckett's onto the hanger straight with the DRS, and it should be an easy move. Does Outlaw and Parsifal react to RC though, boxing? We're about to find out. If I was Parseval and Outlaw, I certainly would. Parseval doesn't, stays out there. Outlaw dives into the pits. Do we see anyone else? Nope, Mercedes Scuderia decides to stay out there as well on the softs. How about Remy? Stays out there as well. We'll see what happens with Varsity and Outlaw. Into the pits is the Kick Sauber driver of Outlaw, Kakameste. Look on the mini-map and you'll see the Red Bull right behind the Ferrari. Did RC make time up on Outlaw? He gets past. There he is. He's made up a bit of time here. Outlaw's 1.5 behind, 1.6. So he drops out the DRS of RC. So a good move from the Red Bull driver there. Elmo now in that Aston Martin sandwich in the second position. The mediums will certainly be better right now. 11 laps on the softs from Parseval, and you can see Elmo looks a lot stronger through the corners with more grip. Here goes Elmo into the lead. Parseval should have boxed that lap with Outlaw as he dives into the pit lane now to get them soft tyres off the car, replace them with a brand new set of mediums, and that puts Outlaw and Brannan into first and second. And they're going to have to push hard now on these medium tyres. There's still a DRS train going on though. From, is it Finn? Yeah, Finn down to Matthias Monster. Parseval. Let's see where he rejoins. RC and Outlaw coming down the main straight right now. There goes RC and Outlaw in the background. And Parseval's going to lose time. Drops behind Outlaw and Kenterum. Two Williams. Close for comfort. Third and fourth now due to some of the pit stops. Ooh, what's happened to Elmo? He dropped outside the DRS of Brannan. Which could be a bit costly. Not quite close enough to get within the DRS. Can Brannan start to push away? So who's that diving into the pits? That is Mercedes Scuderia on the softs, along with Remy, who gets a 10 seconds penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Outlaw has caught up with RC again, right on his tail. Parseval's 2.3 back. So the undercut around this track is quite big. 29.8 for Outlaw, and they're in the chat. Who else have we got? That's it now, all the softs are in. So everyone else on the mediums. Remy's gone for the hard tyres along with Kentra, and that's a bit of a surprise. Remy should have boxed for the mediums, I would have said. Yeah, let's see what Parseval can do on these mediums. He was very quick on the softs. Can he be as quick on the medium and catch back up to Outlaw and RC? Elmo gets back past Brannan for the lead. Switching positions. Need to try and help each other out right now and use the DRS to good advantage and keep up the pace, because they will be going onto the softs during their pit stops, and they'll be very racy at the end, trying to catch up with RC, Outlaw and Parseval. I very doubt they've overcut them. I very doubt that. Let's have a look at the gap actually. 21 seconds, 22 seconds, 24 seconds between RC, Outlaw and Parseval, away from Elmo and Brannan at the moment. Yeah, I'm surprised by that. Remy, Super Skills and Kentrum boxing onto the hard tyres. I thought we wasn't going to see that tyre compound this race, but some people going for a different strategy. Has Finn Kits in his first race back to IRS, currently P4, right behind Mons, who's on his debut in the Mercedes, reserving today. Third and fourth for them. Gapped Nick. Arsley loses in position to Outlaw then. 7th and 8th for the moment, after the pit stops that will change, and they should retake the lead. But then have a very eager Elmo and Brannan not too far behind. But Brannan has just cost himself a lot by picking up a 3-second time penalty there. As who was that diving into the pit? That was Brannan, in fact, into the pit lane. And he'll be jumping on to the soft tyres. We have got Finn as well, I believe. Was that Finn? Yeah, Finn, Nick Broom into the pits. And we look at Outlaw to see the gap between Brannan, IRS LB44, picking up a 3-second time penalty. And there we go. Outlaw, RC and Parseval well in front of Brannan, who's got a lot of work to do on these soft tyres now to close up. Super Skills with another time penalty as well. Mercedes Scuderia jumps back ahead of his teammate. To be fair, the Williams drivers aren't too far behind Brannan here, so if they show some pace towards the end, could get into the top 4. But yeah, the overcut is not going to work here at Silverstone. The undercut is very, very strong. Top 3 yet to pit. There we go. Everyone else on track has now pitted with a 1 stop so far. The 2 Haas drivers and Mons in the Mercedes have yet to pit. We shall see this lap if any of them decide to come in, which they don't, as Outlaw loses the position to Arsley. Parseval catching up again here, 1.3 seconds behind, and is looking very solid for a race win actually. He looks the fastest out of the top 5. These 3 drivers, Elmo and Brannan at the moment. New fastest lap, as I say that, 1:29.696. It's looking very strong. I think it's going to be hard for Outlaw and RC to defend Parseval into the final few laps. I think Elmo has to box this lap as well. He needs to get onto them soft tyres to try and make time back up. Doesn't want to leave it too late, because these mediums are very durable. As we've got IRS LB44 into the pits, and is not having a home Grand Prix to remember at the moment, as he serves his 10 seconds and will be at the back of the field. Elmo does jump into the pits, slows the car right down within pit limiter. Mons and Mathieu stay back out, possibly waiting for a safety car. I'm not too sure, but IRS LB44 is close to getting lapped here. There's Elmo onto the softs. There comes Parseval, Outlaw and RC down the main straight. Elmo's going to drop back behind Brannan possibly. There he is. There goes Brannan in the background. Finn Kits with a new fastest lap as well, so Elmo's dropped back massively there. is about 7 seconds, just under 7 seconds back from RC Outlaw and Parsifal. He's gonna have to push like hell if he wants that race win. I think it's gonna be a bit too much to ask. We'll see lap 24, 25, 26 how strong these medium tyres are for Parsifal, Outlaw and RC. Maybe Elmer will start to come back at them, but I think it could be a bit too much to ask. It's currently 7.7 the gap for Elmo. Finn is actually doing pretty well here. Only 1.7 behind Elmo, so he's found some time. He is the driver of the fastest lap as well at the moment, 1:28.8. And starting to push along nicely here. As Mons and Matteo's Monster finally enter the pits for their one and only stop. Onto a brand new set of softs for each driver. Parsifal retakes the lead ahead of Outlaw and RC. Mercedes doing well. Mercedes, the Williams drivers are doing well here though. 6th and 7th now. There's position change. There it is. Up 3 and 7 positions. Obviously, Parsifal though is absolutely storming through the field. 11 positions into the race lead as of right now. Elmer applying that overtake button, trying to gain as much time as he can. Has brought the gap down a little bit actually. It's now 6.4. Has gained about 1.3 seconds in that last lap. We'll keep an eye on it and see how much more time he can gain. We'll having a look at Parsifal. RC dropped back a little bit there. Still within DRS though. Elmo of the Void, new fastest lap, 1:28.6. Has gained some more time. Branham starting to catch up a little bit with RC. So the softs obviously are the quicker tyre, but would it be enough to catch up with the top 3? Seven and a half laps to go. 5.8. Elmo is back to RC. Obviously, we're not counting Branham right now because he had the 3 seconds. Because I don't think Branham will be able to catch up and he get 3 seconds up the road away from Elmo, RC, Outlaw, and Parsifal. So that's why I'm looking. Oh, and that was Branham who spun. The Aston Martin driver through Maggots and Beckett's has lost the rear tyres and dropped himself back down to 7th, and that could have been the commentator's curse there. You know how it works with the commentator's curse. So sorry for that, Branham, if I just did that. But now we can actually see the gap between Elmo and RC with a 4.4. I would look further down the field, but everyone's so spread out at the moment. It's all like 2-3 seconds gaps between everyone. Like Matteo's Monster, Nick, Remy. We've got Super Skills 11 seconds off everyone there. Kentrum 10 seconds off Super Skills. Psycho is 2.2 behind Kentrum. So big gaps, big gaps. as Mercedes Scuderia gets back past his teammate. 5-minute battle between the two Williams drivers there. Oh, RC. He's just dropped outside the DRS of Outlaw and Parseval, which could be costly for his chance to win. Might help Elmo here get back onto the podium. Got to keep pushing her. 3.8 the gap. Brannan loses the position to Mons now. He's up to P7. Finn Kitts right behind his teammate with a lot more ERS to use as well. 68% Mercedes Scuderia. Finn Kitts with a pretty much full battery. Three seconds the gap. 2.9 between Elmo and RC. Outlaw and Parseval now gapping RC, who was right with them last lap. Finn Kitts back past his teammate into Brooklands. Who's that just ahead? That is Euros in the RB, who boxed for a new set of softs, and he's a lap down. Brannan struggling to get back up past Mons here. Looks pretty quick on the softs. Here comes Outlaw with the DRS. Not going to be close enough for a move. Elmo pushing along nicely there. 2.2 to gap now. He's closer to RC than RC is close to the Outlaw. So the Red Bull driver now struggling towards the end of this race. Like I said, I think it's just a bit too much for Elmo to do for a race win. I think if he had another 4 laps possibly on the 26, he might have been able to do it. Could be wrong though. Could find some magical pace in the next couple of laps, but right now I don't think he's got enough to catch up with Outlaw and Parseval. Unless these medium tyres drop off significantly and something happens. Two Williams drivers still battling that out. Mons and Brannan trying to catch up to the two Williams drivers there. Obviously both got a 3 second each. Is that 3 second? Yeah, it's both 3 seconds there. Remy's got 10 seconds. How did he get that? Speeding in the pit lane, was it? Elmo now within DRS of RC. Here he comes. It's going to be a pretty straightforward move. Back up onto the podium. For last week's race winner. Trying to make it 2 out of 2. He's got a 3 second gap to Outlaw and Parseval. Elmo in the chat from Chino showing the support. I don't know. It's going to be close, you know. He's putting in some great sectors and great lap times, Elmo. He needs Outlaw and Parseval to battle. He needs them to start battling into corners, slowing each other down. 2.5 seconds to Outlaw, you know. Always is hard to tell. I think Parseval might just have it in the bag here. It's a tense finish between first, second and third. People in the chat, who do you think's going to win? Do you think Elmo has enough to catch up and overtake both of these drivers? Or do you think Parseval or Outlaw on the mediums will battle it out to the end, as Outlaw has a big moment there with the rears? It's 2.4. The gap between Elmo and Outlaw. Yeah, I think it's just a bit too much. It's going to be hard for Elmo, but let's see. From Brian there. 2.2, 2.1. He really needs Outlaw to get right up to Parseval and make a move into the corner. That's going to cost him time. Outlaw a lot closer this time. In Village in the loop. Won't be close enough for a move down the Wellington Straight into Brooklyn, so maybe he's just trying to hang back and wait for the last lap. 2.1 the gap. 2 seconds, 1.9. Elmo's there, thereabouts. And he's pushing on, is Elmo. He's got 2.5 laps left to get into the DRS of Outlaw and Parseval. He needs a Quintessana in his head, shouting down the radio, telling him to get a move on. Has lost a bit of time actually there. 2.4. Back down to 2.1. Yeah, I think Elmo is not going to do it. I think it's going to be out of Parseval and Outlaw here. That DRS on the straight is just helping a bit too much for Outlaw and putting away from Elmo. Like I said, if he had 30 laps, I think Elmo would definitely win this race. But as of right now, Parseval's doing a great job. Outlaw's starting to struggle as well on these medium tyres. Monza's caught up with 2 Williams boys there. Brannon's dropped back down into the clutches of Matheus Monster. Outlaw picks up a 10-second. What? With RC? He's nowhere near RC. Nah, that's a glitch. There's definitely a glitch going on there. So that 10 seconds will be removed because he's nowhere near RC, which is a bit of a strange one there. We got a yellow flag somewhere. That is Mercedes Scuderia. He's had a moment out of Luffields. We're nearly on the last lap here. We've got IRS W44 just ahead, who I hope he gets out of the way. I really hope he lets these guys through to battle out on the last lap and doesn't give any DRS advantage to anyone. He's right ahead of them, who are just about to enter the last lap. He actually dives into the pit lane. I think he's going to retire from the race a lap early. But here we go then, on to the final lap of the race. Unfortunately for Elmo, it's going to be a P3 at best, unless Outlaw and Parseval come together. But can Outlaw do anything about Parseval, who's had the best race out of all the drivers on the grid, moving up 11 positions here at Silverstone from lap 1. But Outlaw does have a 10-second, which will be removed at the end of the race. So this battle is for the race win. There we go, there's the position changes. Outlaw started on pole position. Parseval's up 11. He's got half a lap to go to take his first race win in IRS. Started at the start of the season. Oh, Outlaw's had a big moment there through Cops, pushing to the max. Parseval's got a lot of VRS to use as well. Oh, great through Maggots and Beckers from Outlaw. Onto the hanger straight. Parseval's had a better exit. Here comes Outlaw, and it's not going to be enough. Parseval's got enough battery in the tank to move away from Outlaw. Into Stowe we go for the last time. Into Vale. And then into the exit of Club, and Parseval is going to take the race win and take his first ever victory in IRS here at Silverstone with Outlaw in P2. That will be removed, the 10-second penalty from Outlaw. Elmo will finish in P3. But what a race that was between Parseval and Outlaw. Right to the finish line. Parseval in the Aston Martin taking his first ever race win. with an excellent race of 11 positions. Finn Kipps finishing P5 there, P6 for Mercedes Scuderia for the two Williams drivers. Best result of the season for Williams. Matthias Monster in P7 just ahead of Mons in his debut, reserving for the Mercedes. Brannan dropping back down to P9 after having a good start to the race. Nick, after his best qualifying session of the season, dropping down to P10, unfortunately for him. Super Skills gets past Remy right at the finish line for 11th and 12th. Kentrum's going to come home in P13. Psycho is going to come home in P14. Then Euros P15, IRS LB44 is 16th, and ARS is 17th. But what an exciting race that was. I relaxed a little too much when I saw that pen. Parcella obviously doesn't know that that pen will be removed, but in his head he saw the penalty and relaxed a bit too much. Still got a race win nevertheless, and for me, driver of the day will go to the race winner, Parsifal, who started P12 on the grid, as you can see, and wins here at Silverstone for round 5 tier 2. Elmo Devoid, fastest lap, so he'll get 16 points, finishing in P3. Like I said, Outlaw will get that 10 seconds removed, and we'll move back up to P2. But yeah, that's been a pretty good race here for tier 2. A lot better than last week in Austria, we could say, where there was loads of incidents. Obviously Silverstone, known for its wide track, home of F1, so a lot less incidents here at Silverstone. But congratulations to Parsifal, taking his first ever race win in IRS, a well-deserved race win. Hope you've all enjoyed that. It's been a good one. Let me just double check which track is next week. It will be Hungary. Ooh, so we've gone from Silverstone to Hungary, which could be a bit exciting, but I don't think it's going to be as good of a race as we saw here today. But I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope the viewers have enjoyed it. Good support from the Elmo fans there in the chat, from Brian and Chino. Thank you for that. Andrew as well in the chat. So yeah, hope you enjoyed that race, and I hope to see you back next week showing the same support. So until then, peace out. Enjoy your evenings or mornings or wherever you are in the world. See you next week.